This is nice and quiet, much quieter, peaceful. Okay, so the management thing, right? Where the next level up, and you get these letters from indoctrination institutions, right? And it elevates people in a caste system, and you get people at the very top, and they feel very pleased with themselves materialistically because they make much more than the people below them in the pyramid, and they have those credentials next to their name that give themselves the validation that they are a higher level human being than the other beings that they exist in this reality with. And that is self-deception that I fall into. So I'm not saying these things as any kind of a condemnation. It's for a person to reflect on their own. But I took those lessons and reflected and watched the higher and the lower, and fear and mistrust and intimidation and bullying and usury. And I employed those tactics at points myself in my life. But I choose to learn from them and forgive myself, understanding that these are the results of traumatic life existence, balance being unachievable when there's no harmony in the environment that you exist in, right? I mean, what does $1 billion mean, right? Well, to put it in perspective, if you took US $100 bills and laid one on top of each other, flat on their back, just one on top of the other, $1 million you could kind of fit, you could stack it in your hands, right? $1 billion would go as high as the back of a chair. $1 trillion, I got that wrong, sorry. $1 million is the back of a chair, right? $1 billion is up to the top of the Burj Khalifa building in Abu Dhabi, plus 200 feet, and $1 trillion is to where they tell us the space station is and back twice, right? And that's an interesting thing because it shows that it's nothing but material usury and spell casting to keep us in a loop of lowered frequency and consciousness. Anybody who's not ready to hear this, it's okay, because like the Buddha says, eventually you will be, right? And I believe in you too. And that allows me to let go, because I spent a long time, especially at the casino, trying to fill love into people, right? To say, what are you pursuing, right? What are you pursuing right now? Is it happiness? If you've got great intellect or intelligence and know-how, whether you were on the right side or the left side of the fence, you can make money. So why don't you put that to an empowering frequency for yourself, for other people? You know what I mean? Why don't you do what really truly makes you happy? Because I know that the happiness you wear is only when you're high off of the game, right? The rush of the game and the society inside. But it's not true happiness, because that love that I gave went through water in a colander, right? And then like a drug, you want to come back and get it refilled, because it helps you enable yourself to continue a behavior. Xin chào, khỏe không? Hello, sir. Nice to see you, sir. Raman. Xin chào. You see how nice, how friendly? But I was saying, right, it allows you to perpetuate a lack of self responsibility, concentration, fulfillment of your goals of self-love, and ultimately love to others as a result, right? How can that be a judgment? And I go through this on my own. I really hope I'm not coming across as a person who has solved it. 100% no. All I'm doing is I'm like an infant. I'm learning different things in my way. You know what I mean? To say, how can I navigate this situation? How can I be a more fulfilled being in this world? What teachers can I learn from? What masterful, beautiful teachers of love and wisdom. And there are so many, right? Once I start doing things like, I'll tell you, during the pandemic, and I've always been questioning these things, but one of the first things that I shook up and I looked at was Jesus Christ, right? I didn't even know that Christ was a title, right? And it means the anointed one, right? So, which is a title of both sides, love and respect, or control, right? Whatever way you want to look at it. And the English Bible, and again, this might trigger some people, but I'm just talking about letting go, because the relationship with God is there. We don't need people to tell us how to get to it. And I'm just sharing with you what happened to me, but it's there. Everybody has it. That's where we come from. And letting loose all the different controls and the I knows is part of getting there, back to that. Anyway, but it's a fascinating story, because the King James Bible was translated from Greek, right? And anyway, so right there, and I mean, even in the name, whatever. So, but in Greek, his name was Iosus Christos, right? And it's not even the same alphabet, right? And then I'm like, well, it was translated from, Hebrew, Aramaic languages, right? So, which is Semitic, right? Which is also Aramaic and Arabic. Anti-Semitic would also be anti-Arabic speaking people. I mean, I don't know if some people will understand that, whatever. But anyways, what I'm saying is that his name was Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua HaMashiach, right? HaMashiach, the Messiah, right? The promised one, the deliverer, right? And that's cuneiform, not even the alphabet we have. So that was just starting to say, wow, like I've been told to have this picture of a skin color, and then it convinces me that I own that message, and I don't. So I had to unlearn all that and just say, okay, you know what? I was in a flow, but it's loud.